Chelsea host Newcastle United at Stamford Bridge on Saturday. Watch live 7:30 a.m. ET on NBCSN and online via NBCSports.com, with the Blues hoping to keep their recent good form going. Watch live online. As for Newcastle, they've only won one of the last 6 Premier League games, and Rafael Benitez's men are the heavy underdogs in this encounter against Antonio Conte's title chasers. In team news, Chelsea bring back Rudiger Moses after his hamstring injury, while Eden Hazard supports Alvaro Morata up front once again. Newcastle have DeAndre Yedlin on the bench and are playing what looks like a 4,411 formation. Lineups: Chelsea: Courtois Azpilicueta, Christensen, Rudiger Moses, Kante, Drinkwater, Fabregas, Alonso Hazard, Morata. Subs: Caballero, Zappacosta, Cahill, Bakayoko, Willian, Pedro. Batshuayi Newcastle Darlow Manquillo, Clark, Lejuene, Mbemba Ritchie, Merino, Diame, Murphy, Perez, Gayle. Subs: Elliott, Yedlin, Hayden, Shelvey, Joselu, Aarons, Mitrovic REYKJAVIK. Iceland AP Sunrise is still 2 hours away when 700 boys arrive for a Sunday morning soccer tournament in Reykjavik, the world's northernmost capital. Mourinho hits out at Arsenal after Man United win. It's snowing and freezing outside, but the players have overcome the natural barrier of playing football on a wind-lashed North Atlantic island by gathering at an indoor hall with a full-size artificial grass field. If they dream of playing in a World Cup, they know it can come true because their national team is going. On Friday, Iceland, the smallest nation ever to qualify, was drawn with Argentina, Croatia and Nigeria in Group D. The latest achievement has left many wondering if the island nation of nearly 340,000 people is benefiting from its investment in the sport, or is it only temporary success? Speaking with the Associated Press at the National Football Stadium, Laugardalsvöllur, former Iceland manager Guðjón Þórðarson said the investment was paying off. Place Iceland's 7 indoor halls in Coventry, he said, mentioning an English city with a roughly matching population, and just wait and see what happens over, say, 15 years. What has already happened, according to Þórðarson, is that when Icelanders were able to play soccer year-round, the rest of the sport became more professional. Coaching became a paid, part-time job with required qualifications, instead of a volunteer role given to any involved parent. Iceland has 460 coaches with a UEFA B license for training children up to the age of 16, or 1 per 740 people. Hákon Sverrisson, who left his job as a math teacher to become head coach at the Breiðablik club, said he wanted the best coaches to stay with the youngest players because that's when they learn the most. Every child pays the club's tuition with a €300 $355 voucher provided by the local municipality to support after-school activities. Public funding towards sport clubs and their facilities mean children need to be provided with equal opportunities. This means it's hard for us to select the 15 or 20 best players and train them extra hard. Sverrisson said. Iceland's place at the World Cup in Russia comes after a stunning run at the 2016 European Championship, where the team made it to the quarter-finals, knocking out England before losing to France 52. Vidar Halldórsson, a sociology professor at the University of Iceland, argued in a recent book that in an era of big money the Icelandic team preserves an amateur spirit of friendship and sacrifice, while the elite teams have been weakened by greed and individualism. The Icelandic players have relatively modest careers as professional footballers. Team captain Aron Gunnarsson, for example, is with second-tier Cardiff in the English League Championship. Together the players are ambitious and supportive, Halldórsson said, and always willing to put the team first. The success is not sport-specific, he said, pointing to top-class performances by the Icelandic handball and basketball teams. Icelanders have not forgotten the backroach play in sports, Halldórsson said, and with that they champion the values the larger teams have lost in recent years. The matches at the Corin Indoor Hall are watched by proud parents, catching up with friends and relatives. Faces are familiar in a country this small, and even Iceland President Gunni Thorlacius Jóhannesson was there to watch his 8-year-old son. The kids here, they learn the game and are encouraged to pass the ball to the next player instead of just kicking it as far as you can. Tiny things like that give them an understanding of the game. Jóhannesson told the app. More look back at Saturday's action. From around the Premier League, a father of 5 and long-time volunteer in youth clubs, the president said the most important thing was that everybody is involved. We just make sure that everybody has fun, everybody improves himself and everybody has a good time. Johannesson said, "That is what matters to me, not that we are creating professional football players." 10 years on or something like that. Well, Jurgen Klinsmann might be coaching at the World Cup next summer as it turns out. More Man United, Liverpool, Chelsea all win. In Saturday's Place action, Fox Sports Australia is reporting that the former US men's national team manager is very intrigued by the Australia national team job, and that he reached out to a close friend to help get to him the position with the Socceroos. Klinsmann has been out of his coaching since he was fired by US Soccer in November 2016 during the USMNT's CONCACAF World Cup qualifying run. Additionally, the ex-German international previously managed the German national team and club giants Bayern Munich. Despite the 53-year-old's interest in the job, the biggest potential hold-up in him being granted the position is his salary. The Fox Sports report states that Australia has put aside about $1.5 million per annum. Although Klinsmann was making about $3.3 million annually when employed by US Soccer. Another line that reads very interesting from the report is the following: the German is understood to be very keen to lead the Socceroos given Australia has a very similar sports landscape to the US where the game isn't the #1 sport in terms of popularity. For TV ratings among other mediums, reads the Fox Sports Australia article. Former Australia manager Ange Postecoglou stepped down from his position with the Socceroos just last week, which came as a shock to many following their triumph over Honduras in a World Cup qualifying playoff. On Friday, Australia was paired with France, Peru and Denmark in Group C for the 2018 World Cup in Russia. Follow at Madrid Football. Well, it was a great run while it lasted. Paris Saint-Germain suffered its first defeat of the 201,718 season on Saturday, a 21 decision at the hands of Strasbourg in League One play. More 4 things we learned from Man United's win over Arsenal. Strasbourg, who currently sits 14th in the French top flight, was promoted from League Two ahead of the current campaign. The hosts went ahead after 13 minutes when Nuno Dia headed home past goalkeeper Alphonse Areola, before Kylian Mbappe equalised just 3 minutes before half-time. Stéphane Behoken put the game to rest though after the hour mark when he blasted a shot into the top corner. PSG's dominance across all competitions this season has been well documented, including a perfect start in UEFA Champions League group play. The Parisians hadn't lost an official match since their 3-1 defeat at Nice on April 30, over 7 months ago. Follow at Madrid Football. Rog talks with former Premier League, Champions League and Euro 2016 referee Mark Clattenburg about the psychology of officiating, mentally coping with errors in game, dealing with abuse from coaches, and life as English football's first rockstar referee. All of the MIB content, pods, videos and stories can be seen here, but to really stay in touch, follow, subscribe, click here, subscribe to the podcast or to update your iTunes subscriptions, click here for the RSS feed, follow at Madrid Football.